Welcome on into the Browns report. We're going to recap the loss in Denver, but some initial reactions I want to share. First things first, got to stay healthy. Unfortunately, the Browns have been probably the most snake-bitten team in terms of injuries, and that's going to catch up to you. And it felt like it definitely caught up to them today, especially when you factor in all of the injuries they sustained throughout the game. Not only going into this game with a lot of injuries, but also during the game, suffering injuries to Amari Cooper, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, and Jordan Elliott. So we're going to run through all that throughout the postgame show here. We're waiting on updates from Kevin Stefanski, but injuries played a big factor. It's just tough to overcome those injuries, and that's not even getting to no Denzel Ward, no Anthony Walker. Now, JOK balled out without Walker today, but Greg Newsome was getting burnt by Courtland Sutton in key moments and for big chunks of yardage as well. They really missed the Warden. So you add in all the injuries that you lost or sustained season long, and then the week-to-week ones, and then the in-game ones, it felt like it just hit a boiling point for Cleveland. And then there's the turnovers, right? As the Browns coughed it up 3 times. They lead the league in turnovers. You just can't win a lot of games turning the ball over this much. So that's the second real kicker. And then the third big kicker is the drops, in my opinion. Got to hold on to the football. You got a rookie in Dorian Thompson-Robinson when he's out there making good passes. It's not like the Browns lost this game because of DTR. I mean, we can look at the stats from this one right now. DTR went 14 for 29, 134 yards and 1 touchdown. His first career touchdown pass. Credits or bravo to him, finding Harrison Bryant at the goal line. But you turn the ball over 3 times. You're banged up going into the game and then during the game. And then you add in all the drops to try and help your rookie QB out. It's just a perfect shit show. I mean, it's an ultimate shit show tsunami coming at Cleveland right now off the shores of Lake Erie. So 29-12, yeah, that's going to be a pretty realistic outcome. And scoregami. And I always wanted to be on the other side of a scoregami. But DTR 14 for 29, waiting for an update from Kevin Stefanski. He took a big hit from Baron Browning by the Broncos. And ultimately, DTR has a concussion. X-rays were negative on Cooper. So that's some good news right there. But Dorian Thompson-Robinson is in concussion protocol now. So it's safe to say Joe Flacco will start in LA. I don't think they're going to go to P.J. Walker. I sure hope they don't go to P.J. Walker. I don't really get the point of signing Joe Flacco if you're going to go to P.J. Walker if DTR were to go down. But Joe Flacco, your time to shine, buddy. I mean, I think he's going to get the start in L.A. The Browns are going to stay out west after this game. So Flacco, who was not elevated for today's game, it would have been nice to maybe give him some runs instead of P.J. Walker came in, who went 6 of 13 for 56 yards. Strip sack, of course, because why not another turnover? But Joe Flacco season, baby. The Browns are going to start 4 different quarterbacks this year. And 3 of the first 4 have all won games. I don't know if a team has ever won has started 4 different quarterbacks and had all 4 quarterbacks win a game. But the Browns might make some history here. So let me know. Pick a quarterback. If DTR is healthy, would you rather continue with Dorian Thompson-Robinson or would you rather roll with Joe Flacco? Let me know. DTR or Joe Flacco. Because it's not like Dorian Thompson-Robinson is really playing all that bad, right? He made good throws, actual accurate passes. His receivers were not doing him a ton of help. But ultimately, it feels like the Browns' ceiling with DTR at the quarterback is a lot lower than it should be. And it has to be, in order for the Browns to win with DTR at quarterback, they're just taking no shots down the field. And that is tough to do for 4 quarters. When Cat gets out of the bag, the Browns aren't going to push the ball past 15 yards from the line of scrimmage. Safeties are going to start creeping down, and it's going to make life miserable for the ground game in the second half of games, like we saw last week and like we sort of saw this week. Now, before we get on to the rest of my post-game show, Prize Picks. A quick shout-out to our awesome sponsor today. Now, what is Prize Picks? Prize Picks is the most easy and exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. We all know there can be some absolute stinkers of primetime matchups, basically anything with the Jets or the Raiders. But with Prize Picks, you can stay locked in on the game. So for Sunday Night Football, here are my selections. I'm taking the more on Justin Herbert and his passing yards. I'm fading Rashad Bateman. I'm taking the less there. I like the more on Austin Eckler at half a touchdown. Just need one. And then Lamar Jackson, I'm taking the less on his passing yards. Testing my skills on Prize Picks this season is the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. If you have the skills, you can turn $10 into $250. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. The link for that is in the comments and description of today's video. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy. Now we're at the point of the video where everyone wants to blame Stefanski. Stefanski did not fumble the ball 4 times today. Okay? Stefanski did not have 5 drops. Okay? Stefanski does have a decision on the play calling. And ultimately, it felt like the Browns were too pass happy in the first half, with the ground game actually putting up some good yardage, and you were going up against the worst run defense in football. So for all the Stefanski haters out there, there's your Super Bowl moment, right? Stefanski probably leaned too much on the pass in the first half with DTR at quarterback and Jerome Ford and Kareem Hunt putting together some good rushes. But ultimately, if you want to blame Stefanski, you can blame him on stuff like that. But again, Pierre Strong Jr., you got to catch a simple flip to you. A simple flip. You got to catch it. David Njoku, got to catch the football. Amari Cooper, got to catch the football in the end zone on a 2-point conversion. Elijah Moore, got to catch the football to move the sticks when you're down by 2 scores in the fourth quarter. Like, those are things that it doesn't matter who the head coach is. You got to execute. And unfortunately, the Browns, despite having the most turnovers in the NFL, are still sitting at 7-4. They go on this road trip where they stay out west with an opportunity to win in LA against the Rams, who have played very well lately, are on a win streak of their own, and get back to Cleveland and face the Jags and the Bears for 2 straight home games. And if you come out of this 4-game stretch 2-2, you go into the final 3 weeks of the season sitting at 9-5, very much alive, of course, and in a great spot to not only just get a playoff spot, but also win the division. So 1-1 on this road trip. Let's take it game by game here. As for Cleveland's defense, we'll kind of just wrap up with this note. That sound good to you, Tyler? The Browns' defense didn't play horrible today. They definitely were lacking some of that big play factor, and they gave up some untimely first downs, which really isn't like them. If there's one Achilles heel, it is the Cleveland defense in the red zone. They gave up 2 touchdowns in the first 2 trips for Denver, but ultimately, the Browns' defense, they're doing the best they can right now, right? They did not give up 29 points. They gave up 27 points. There's a safety in there, so, minor victories. But, again, if the offense is going to turn it over 3 times and a lot of early 3-and-outs, like, you're going to back the defense up, who's already shorthanded without Denzel Ward, your best corner, without Anthony Walker, your best linebacker. Like, you're missing key guys. Jordan Elliott, your starting defensive tackle, goes down. Myles Garrett clearly plays through an injury. It's just tough to keep going with all the injuries. Like, at some point, the next man up is just going to be like, there's no one else left. Like, who else is supposed to step up, right? You're running out of bodies, it feels like, at times. So hopefully this team can just get healthy, right? They can escape LA with a victory, go back to Cleveland, 8-4, hopefully get healthy. Amari Cooper, he got x-rays on his ribs. They came back negative. DTR's in concussion protocol. But they're going to stay out west. They're going to practice at UCLA's facilities this week here. And, wow, a super long field goal for the Eagles to tie it. How long was that? 59-yarder, and we are tied in the city of brotherly love. But that's going to do it for us on our postgame show. Browns drop it in Denver, 29-12. Scoregami. So for all my Scoregami lovers out there, congratulations. But if you appreciate the Browns, or if you appreciate the broadcast and whatnot, consider subscribing to the channel. I'm not crushed by this loss. You're on the road. You played a good Broncos team. But it's unfortunate that the Browns shot themselves in the foot time and time again.